Pakistan cricket at its best. 1 minute down, next minute up.
Thanks very much, everyone, for joining me once again. My guest is somebody who I spoke with ahead of the Pakistan Super League, and I thought it would be a good time to chat with her now because obviously with the PSL finished and assignment at the Multan Sultans for this year complete, it'd be very interesting to find out what the experience was like for her. She's a renowned pace bowling coach. She's a former cricketer herself. And, she's a familiar face now to many Pakistani cricket followers. Catherine Dalton. Kath, thank you very much for joining me once again.
Hey, Sajid, thank you for having me.
You're welcome, Kath. So tell us, how was the experience of the Pakistan Super League, first and foremost?
I had a fantastic time. The competition itself was incredible. It exceeded my expectations, if that's even possible. I had the most wonderful time, great people, wonderful hospitality, good food, and just overall a wonderful experience.
You mentioned the good food. I think that's a good starting point. Us Pakistanis, we love our food and we love hosting our guests. You say that the experience was a wonderful one. Any favourite dishes out there, Kath, that you enjoyed?
Oh, do you know what? I had so many different cuisines. We made sure that all the boys were looking after us, making sure we're trying different things the whole trip. But yeah, I really enjoyed biryani, to be honest. Quite simple, but really tasty. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It was really good.
Kath, when you and Alex Hartley were signed by Multan Sultans, admittedly, there were a few raised eyebrows that, female coaches in the Pakistan Super League, it's a men's tournament, not a women's tournament. Were there any obstacles and hurdles that you and Alex had to overcome?
Me personally, no. I can speak for Alex as well. We didn't have any obstacles at all. The boys received us really well. The coaching staff were absolutely fantastic with us. We gelled with the team straight away, which is always important in a franchise competition. Teams are put together and you don't know how people will gel, but we gelled fantastically well. And credit really to Ali Tareen and head coach Abdul Rahman for that. They built a wonderful culture that allowed us to express ourselves as coaches. And I got on with the bowling attack really well, which was great. It was good to have two leaders in Dave Willey and Chris Jordan as well, experienced professionals. And also a lot of the guys have played international cricket, like Muhammad Ali had played for Pakistan in Test cricket. We've obviously got Abbas Afridi doing really well. So it was a really strong bowling attack with a lot of experience, and they welcomed me with open arms for sure.
Your suggestions as a female pace bowling coach, Kath, were they taken on board by the players? You mentioned that some of them are very experienced. There might be that attitude. I'm sure that wasn't the case with Multan Sultans of, we've heard all of this before. Were the players welcoming with your ideas?
Yeah, they definitely were. I got on really well with Muhammad Ali. We worked together really closely. You have to have an open conversation. You have to build a rapport with someone first. It can't just be dive in and coached from the get-go. So I think that's with all coaching, not just in the PSL, it's everywhere. But yeah, they did. They really received, particularly the technical side of things. We spoke a lot tactically as a team, as a unit, in a lot of fast bowling meetings, but also at training itself, talking tactically about when to bowl Yorkers, how to bowl Yorkers. I taught them a few different slower balls, which was good fun. When they executed those in the game, that was fantastic to see. But also just a bit of technical input, because 5 weeks is a long competition, and we made some really good changes with some of the players, which was exciting to see.
We knew of Muhammad Ali as a test bowler, as you say, he played test cricket for Pakistan, albeit, just a few matches. But the T20 bowler, Muhammad Ali, we hadn't seen much of previously. And, he raised a lot of eyebrows. He had a fantastic tournament. Tell us about him and areas that you worked with him on.
Yeah, something for Muhammad Ali, or Daisy as he's known to us, is he's fantastic Yorker bowler. So percentage-wise, he bowled the most Yorkers out of our whole bowling attack. and his Yorkers were just the key in that competition. I mean, he got a lot of wickets with them. He was also superb in the power play for us, particularly in Multan, where it did swing a little bit. And he just hit his area so consistently. And I think when you're a test player and you're able to hit your area with that consistency, that can play into your favour. But he also adapted pretty well. You know, Pindi was a difficult place for any team to go to. So it was all about variations there. And that then changed when we went to Karachi again. But he was very adaptable. And one thing about Daisy is how hard he works. An incredible hard worker and really open about technical things. We spoke a lot about his front arm, a little bit about getting some more ground speed in his run up, a bit more hip rotation into his action to increase his speed. And I think on commentary they were speaking about how his speed had increased as the tournament went on. So that was really pleasing to see. And I said before the competition, if I could get 5%, the players 5 to 10% better one place the next, sometimes not winning, you have to pick yourself up and go again. His mentality was absolutely incredible.
And from Muhammad Ali doing so well to the other extreme, Shahnawaz Dahani didn't have a very notable tournament. Any areas that you spotted that he needs to work on?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you just don't fire in a tournament, and it's not something specific. It just sometimes you're out of form. You know, we see it a lot with batters. They go into a tournament, it could be a World Cup or a franchise event, and it just doesn't click for them. I know Dahani is a wonderful guy, by the way, a fantastic character. Can see he's really friendly with the fans. The fans absolutely love him. He's again a very hard worker, worked really hard on his fitness. We spoke a lot about the outcomes with Dahani specifically, and a little bit about his technique as well. But I think it just wasn't his tournament, and that can sometimes happen. And do you know what? He was a massive team player despite that. And sometimes that can be the hardest thing. You know, if you're not in form, you still got to be there for the team. And he was exactly that, encouraging everyone. And I really do hope he does well in the next couple of months, because he is a terrific talent.
In terms of generically about pace bowling, how much of it is about ability, how much is about technique, and how much is it about confidence? Or does it need a bit of everything, I guess?
Yeah, I don't think there's a magic formula to that, unfortunately. I do think it's a bit of everything. You know, sometimes you see a player who might not necessarily have the talent of somebody else, but they're hardworking and they've got a fantastic mindset, and that takes them all the way. So it is a combination. And I think for any individual player, it's about trying to get the best out of yourself in all of those departments. Can I get better technically? Can I improve my speed? Can I get better outcomes? And then mentally, am I robust to cope with the pressure? Because it is pressurized. And I think just going back to that kind of mindset that you have to have as a professional cricketer, Daisy's ball where he bowled a bouncer to take a wicket in that very last over of the PSL, like the confidence to run up and do that is something that's so pleasing for me as a coach. Although I was watching behind my fingers like this, I was so nervous. That kind of confidence is what we were trying to breed in the team as a collective. So that's really good to see.
So near yet so far, wasn't it, for Multan Sultans? You know, a lot of people regarded you guys as the favourites, as the informed team, but it didn't quite happen, Kath. Where did it go wrong?
You know, in finals, there are funny things, aren't they? You know, they just feel different. Even though, you know, you can say it's the same game, it's just another game of cricket, there is an extra pressure. I think it was just one of those games that possibly we thought we needed more runs than we did when we were batting, maybe. But, you know, you could pick a couple of runs from anywhere in that innings, from a fielding perspective, from a bowling perspective. I don't think we underperformed in that game. I just think there were a few key moments that could have swung it either way. And listen, to get to the final for us was fantastic. Shame to lose it on the last ball, but we're equally very proud of the squad and what they achieved.
Did you get much of a chance to see Pakistan, work with some of the guys maybe away from the main squad?
Yeah, what was fantastic is our first 2 weeks were in Multan. which meant we got an opportunity to work with some of the academy boys there, in particular at the Elite MS Academy. So that's Ali set that up for us. So that meant as coaches, when our players, first team players, were having a rest day, we went out and we worked with the academy boys. So that was really good, because that really felt like we were giving back to them and hopefully bringing up a new generation of Multan Sultans bowlers in doing that. So that was great. We did see a little bit of the country, but I would have loved to see more. It's an absolutely beautiful country, and I just had a fantastic 5 weeks. I still miss it. I wish I could go back right now. Such a wonderful time.
And did you spot any future stars? Do you think? I mean, Pakistan's well known, obviously, for its pace bowling resources. Did you see any young cricketers out there in the Pakistan Super League, maybe from one of the other teams, maybe from the academy groups, that you think, yeah, this lad could do quite well in future?
I think from our perspective, Aftab bowled really well for us, and he's only a young lad, 19 years old, was really gutsy in the way he bowled. In particular, we changed a little bit about his technique. He had quite a lot of lateral flexion. He was falling away and experiencing a little bit of pain in his back. So we fixed his feet alignment. So where his left foot was landing, it was landing across him. We got that to be a bit straighter, and now he's bowling a lot straighter. But do you know what? There was so much talent. The fast bowling in Pakistan is just wonderful to watch. And I had a great time. I spoke to Nazim Shah on the outfield about his bowling and his swing bowling in particular, because he was getting the ball to swing when we weren't sometimes. Yeah, loads of talent. There are loads of young talent, and it's an exciting time, I think, for Pakistan cricket.
Any of the players from the other teams ask you for any tips, Kath?
No. There was one player, but I'm not going to name him because he would be embarrassed. So, yeah, working with a few of them remotely now, which is quite nice.
And what's your abiding memory of the Pakistan Super League?
Abiding memory is the crowd, how much they involved in the game. You know, cricket and sport is nowhere without its fans. So the Multan Sultans fans really got behind us. And I'll speak for Alex as well. Alex and I felt so welcomed. My overriding memory is just joy. I just had so much fun. There's a great competition, full houses, packed house, crowds, close games as well. Like, we lost all our games on the last ball, the games we did lose. So it was close games, good competitive competition, and just a wonderful competition to be involved with.
And what about next year, finally, Kath? Have you already signed up for Multan Sultans, or is it a possibility that we'll see you and maybe Alex again next year?
Yeah, let's hope so. You never know what can happen in a year. Ali was brilliant with us, so I have a lot to thank him for the opportunity and allowing us to go and do our job properly. So yeah, let's hope so. I'd love to go back. It'll be PSL 10, so I'm sure that'll be a really good season to be involved in.
Well, Kath, it was wonderful to see you at the Pakistan Super League. I think it's a great initiative from Multan Sultans to get you and Alex involved. And I know a lot of cricket lovers around the world were very impressed by that strategy and idea. And I think you did a fantastic job, as Muhammad Ali's improvement and other guys' improvement confirms. So thank you very much for doing that, and wish you all the best for the future. And thanks very much for your time today.
Thank you, Saj. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.